1, 2, is this on?
When watching and following both of the major wrestling promotions from week to week, it's noticeable how different they operate.
The biggest thing I see right now on the internet is people thinking, oh, and then they're going to do this. Yeah, no, we're not.
These differences range from the feel of the shows to booking philosophy and each promotion's view of certain talent.
Let's just say I'm pissed off at the way I went out. I put so much into it and I don't feel as though the effort was reciprocated.
Not to mention business practices, the wrestling itself and each organization's overall identity.
As you know, in the television and streaming space, great success means great profit. Mediocre success still means profit.
The AEW's ticket pricing is designed to be very family friendly. We've always wanted to maintain affordable ticket pricing for the fans, and particularly to bring families and young fans to the show.
For this video, we'll examine and compare the two companies while noting what one does superior to the other.
There's been some reports regarding the representation of black male wrestlers within WWE. They haven't been on a PLE in the last 3 cards.
I don't see the difference in anybody. I don't see the color, I don't see the nationality, I don't see any of it. I just see talent.
I want to commend you, Tony, for what you do with black wrestlers on your show, because you guys definitely push them forward.
Some of the top black wrestlers in the world are in AEW, but I think that is a conscious thing, but I also think it's great.
Today we highlight 10 things AEW does better than WWE.
Guess what? We come together, we put on the best fucking professional wrestling shows this world has ever fucking seen.
This is the best fucking place I've ever worked.
One thing AEW has made clear since its inception is how much they respect legends. Anytime an icon of the past makes an appearance, they're given proper due, with past achievements being acknowledged and celebrated. For years, we'd constantly see legends being disrespected and underutilized on WWE programming.
Careful you don't hurt your neck again going through those ropes.
Fighting you would be like fighting my own dad, mate.
I'm giving you a pass. Go! Get out of here! Get out of here! Walk on out of here, Mark. Pedal on out of here.
Reunion shows that were supposed to be honoring past stars would often have them looking like fools or tucked away in the background doing nothing.
You see, flea markets across the entire US were driven to a frenzy today by virtue of the fact that none of this lot were available to sign 25-year-old photos of themselves and shake hands with the 7 or so people who have any clue who they are. I will personally take great pleasure in forgetting each and every one of your names the second you walk out of the arena this evening.
I went to SummerSlam. They invited me down, told me that they wanted me to be in the crowd, and then they told me once I got there that they didn't have any seats. I don't feel that WWE maybe finally realized that. I don't think they really fully appreciated it, even after Hulk's passing.
The WWE has begun to do a better job at showcasing legends by parading them in the crowd at events like Saturday Night's Main Event. However, Goldberg's retirement on this show in July 2025 rubbed people the wrong way. The in-ring delivered, as Bill was allowed to do more than had been the case in all his previous matches since coming back. The problem was he was only given a matter of seconds for his retirement speech, as the show quickly went off the air.
And I cannot thank you enough from the bottom of my heart.
The full speech wasn't uploaded on social media until a full 24 hours later. The whole thing upset Goldberg, who also wasn't happy with the short build his final match was given on TV.
Let's just say I'm pissed off at the way I went out. I put so much into it and I don't feel as though the effort was reciprocated to put a stamp on what I accomplished.
Over in AEW, Sting had one of the greatest retirement runs of any wrestler.
This is my moment. This is your moment. I want to share it with you.
Sure, he wanted to do lots of crazy spots and keep up with the young guys, but from a story perspective, it was all told magnificently, as Sting gave it all in that last run while giving back to the business by bringing up current star Darby Allin.
I just want this to be a night that wrestling fans will not forget.
There's countless more examples like Sting in AEW, legends who can still go and have so much left to give, but were undervalued and underappreciated in WWE.
The greatest wrestling announcer of all time, good old JR! My God! Good Lord! Oh my God! The big dive from the Hall of Famer! This is the best fucking place I've ever worked!
And it's not like they're all holding the world title or working main events. They each have clearly defined roles that better the show and elevate the younger talent around them. Goldberg may have felt handcuffed with the 3-week build and lack of appropriate goodbye in his retirement, but here lies one of the clearest distinctions between the two companies, that being the level of creative freedom afforded to talent.
I hear the word creative freedom, and there's this new company starting, and I just started like, that's my shot. That's the only way I'm going to make it.
In WWE, wrestlers often work under strict guidelines. Segments can be tightly scripted, while matches are heavily agented to follow a certain format. AEW, by contrast, is far more hands-off. Promos are usually left up to the performer, giving wrestlers the chance to find their own voice and connect with the audience in a 100% authentic way. Stars like MJF,
Look at me, Tony! I want you to fire me! You fucking mark! Fire me!
Eddie Kingston,
Leave the hard cam on! Don't go to these other cameras, because I'm going to go right to you. I'm going to talk to the people at home.
and Jon Moxley thrive in this environment, as their strengths lie in raw, unscripted emotion.
A little while ago. Hey, go fuck yourself. Get that guy out of here.
Tony Khan is the head booker and has final say on everything, but he's very open to giving talent creative leeway in helping craft stories. The result is a show which feels more akin to sport-like competition compared to the overly produced and polished nature of WWE. At the same time, AEW prides themselves on being where the best wrestle in grittier fashion that's all about the action.
Guess what? We come together, we put on the best fucking professional wrestling shows this world has ever fucking seen. And I put my fucking name on that. You wanna know why I put my name on that? Because I'm ready to step the fuck up. I'm ready to be the face of this company. I'm ready to be the face of the mayhem, of the misfits, as long as this motherfucker ponies up the money. But that is neither here nor there.
If WWE is sports entertainment, then AEW is sports wrestling. The quote-unquote WWE style is something that's less pronounced these days, as despite being overproduced, the matches are more varied than they used to be. That being said, there's still a repetitiveness to the shows that can make them seem formulaic. Show you might see bouts featuring Lucha Libre,
It's the runs.
Japanese strong style,
Moxley.
scientific technical grappling,
Yes. I want to see it. Ask him. Ask him. Something's got to give.
high work rate, hardcore rules, comedy,
Look, Cass, you got the... That's tremendous. That's pretty cool, guys.
and multi-man party matches. It feels like there's something for everyone in one big buffet variety show. Also in AEW, you'll see wrestlers ranging from lower card to main event, all working with each other. This makes the matches so much fresher, since you don't see the same one-on-one bouts over and over again. Compare that to WWE, where it's often rematch after rematch. So then when the same bout happens again on a bigger show, it doesn't feel special because we've seen it countless times already.
Sami Zayn is 0-10 versus the Scottish Warrior in his career.
In recent years, episodes of Raw or SmackDown always seem to end with some sort of tag match featuring the Judgment Day, the Bloodline, or the Vision. As wrestlers were continually sucked into the vortex of these factions, AEW doesn't suffer with the same issues as much, given their larger roster. That, and the company is more willing to put mid-card matches in the main events.
Jericho. And training, running, shooting star press. Both legs. Whoa.
Plus, generally speaking, fans are guaranteed some sort of legitimate finish, since the promotion relies less on DQs, countouts, or no contests compared to the competition. When we do see any non-finishes, there's usually a solid reason, or the execution is done in a unique way.
Yeah, I think he's connected that grip. He's connected that grip. Oh, the count out. He is desperate, and he makes it.
In a similar vein to keeping matches fresh, entrance music is another key way wrestling varies, specifically between each competitor. Each talent's music should fit their character, or tell us something about them. WWE have taken this trope quite literally, as so many of their current stars' theme songs begin with a catchphrase or saying of some sort. That's because once the Def Rebel produced music starts playing, fans wouldn't have a clue who's coming out if not for the intro. So instead of every wrestler having unique music tailored to their persona, the songs start with a reference to the performer, followed by a generic instrumental that's specific to no one in particular.
It's your boys, the New Day.
Some of WWE's bigger stars have got to keep their original songs, though hearing these tracks compared to the same sounding themes of everyone else highlights how poor most of the talent's music is. AEW has a legit musician in Mikey Ruckus, crafting themes for the roster with input from the talent themselves. The company is also happy to shell out for the use of licensed material, while understanding the value these songs bring to a wrestler's presentation.
Tony, stop doing that dance.
I can't help it. It's contagious. I'm sorry, I can't help it.
Given WWE's PG parameters, it was important for AEW to provide an alternative, edgier product. This is something All Elite has ran with right from the start. Since then, they produced countless violent bloodbaths and death matches.
Oh, look at this! What the hell is wrong with him? No, my God, no! He's got Tile hooked up. Destination unknown. It's an attack! Oh.
They are constantly upping the ante and pushing the envelope with insane spots and moments.
The face and
with so many personal rivalries taking place, brutal hardcore matches will always be a suitable endgame.
Kenny Omega! Feet!
oh no!
I think it dropped on his head. The challenge is going to get driven, power-driven. Oh my goodness! All right.
Not only that, but AEW has countless different variations of no DQ stipulations that integrate all types of different locations and weapons.
Seesaw! Oh my God! Oh my God! Get him!
Plus, their creative spots and scenarios keep things fresh and new.
He's thinking Rainmaker! That was awesome.
doubles over Nightingale and now Statlander.
In recent times, WWE have allowed their wrestlers more leeway when it comes to getting color and going beyond the previous PG boundaries. It's something we hope to see more of going forward, as it's a welcome change from the sameness we tend to get with certain feuds, especially when the blow-off takes place in a hardcore setting, but under-delivers due to the lack of violence. The violence being toned down in WWE is understandable if they're catering to more families, but this surely isn't true if you examine the business model held by their parent company TKO. The parent company's president Mark Shapiro has publicly stated that in order to maximize profits, WWE are moving away from catering to families in terms of their ticket pricing. This means making it even more expensive to attend shows. These days, every single Raw, SmackDown, and pay-per-view feature ridiculously high ticket prices, which almost certainly price out the average wrestling fan. Therefore, bringing the entire family along doesn't make sense when you could essentially take them away on vacation for less. These high costs aren't just a result of the company being on a hot streak, since TKO are notoriously all about making as much money as possible no matter what.
And as you know, in the television and streaming space, great success means great profit. Mediocre success still means profit.
This creates quite the disconnect between the organization and the audience.
You guys already got tickets? Yeah. How much were they? 500. Get the fuck out. Are you serious?
Yeah, they were expensive.
What kind of seats did you have?
Lower bowl, C135 for both nights.
So how far back from the front row?
Not on the floor. Not on the floor at all.
4 seats for like what, 30,000?
Yeah.
Really?
This is our first Mania. I'm like, you know what? Go big or go home. I know.
All Elite wrestling shows are far more accessible to fans, which is a deliberate effort made by the company. A ringside seat at an AEW pay-per-view costs over 10 times less than a WWE one.
AEW's ticket pricing is designed to be very family friendly, and it has been that way from the very beginning. Everybody who's been involved in AEW from the start will tell you that we've always wanted to maintain affordable ticket pricing for the fans, and particularly to bring families and young fans to the show and make it accessible for fans of all backgrounds and of all ages. And I think it's really exciting for us that we're getting some good feedback about that.
All Elite also shines when it comes to fan interactiveness during the matches. The wrestlers are more than happy to make the audience part of the show. We often see talent directly engaging with individual fans. This is a small thing, but it helps add a fun piece of unscripted authenticity to the show.
Working on a 10 count here. All right, look at this. Brian Dennison getting help from the fans at ringside. How about that?
Against Oscar right now. That's why he wants to lose.
I'll send it to your room.
No, your mother. What'd you say?
Let's further explore how the fan experience differs between the two shows once you get through the turnstiles. One might expect more at a WWE event, given the hefty price of admission, though in reality you get far less. The average WWE Premium Live event runs for 3 hours and features 5 matches. Typically over 90 minutes of the 3-hour runtime is dedicated towards advertisements, video packages, celebrity crowd shots and promos. AEW pay-per-views generally last over 4 hours, with around 8 to 10 matches on the main card, not to mention a 2-hour pre-show featuring an additional 3 or 4 bouts. Unlike with WWE shows, there is little to no downtime here. It's basically just match, video package, match. In fact, AEW All Out 2025 featured a near identical total wait time between matches to WWE's WrestlePalooza event, which ran the same day. That's despite AEW's show being 2 hours longer than WWE's. This shows us complete night and day difference to how each organization structure their big events. On these AEW cards, it's not uncommon to see stars from the likes of CMLL and New Japan, as talent is often exchanged back and forth between each promotion. There's no hidden agenda, and it's all done for the betterment of wrestling. The same can't be said for WWE's relationship with other companies. We touched on how cutthroat, money-hungry, and dominant TKO are, and this is once again evident when it comes to their overall vision for the wrestling industry. Even though WWE are happy to work with TNA and their purchase entity AAA, you get the sense that these partnerships are purely designed to benefit WWE's interests. TNA, for example, only gets people from the developmental league NXT, who often go over on the TNA stars. Interest is up in TNA, but there's been missed opportunities to elevate their own talent instead of the NXT crop.
Because the NXT people came in and they was kind of taking belts from TNA left and right.
Yeah, everybody was straightforward and pissed off, I tell you that.
With AAA, WWE has said how they don't intend to Americanize the promotion. So far, the shows under their umbrella have been strong, but you can feel the heavy WWE influence. Overall, it's hard to ignore the feeling that WWE are trying to monopolize the industry once again. Anytime they purposely put an NXT show head-to-head with an AEW one, it's the developmental brand that suffers. We mentioned these issues with Goldberg's retirement earlier. Well, another way WWE screwed it up was by positioning the card against AEW's All-In event. The show with Goldberg's last match drew the record lowest rating of any Saturday night's main event in history. This led to NBC dropping the show from its schedule, with future airings now being broadcast on Peacock. Just like before, WWE wants to be the only game in town with the entire wrestling bubble under their thumb.
Spirit of competition is something that we've dealt with from the launch of AEW, and I have never really had any problem with it as long as it's, an ethical competition. I don't always think it has been coming from the other side.
The last thing we'll look at is how the two company figureheads operate. We already touched on how TKO has left a bad taste in fans' mouths with their business strategy. Such tactics have left the WWE creative figurehead Triple H in a difficult spot, since he's also seen as the face and spokesperson for the company. However, the game hasn't done himself any favors with how he's reacted to questions from the media in the past. In the post-game press conferences after pay-per-views, Levesque was often put in the firing line, where he drew criticism for his uptight and defensive responses when posed with non-softball questions.
Fightful and PW Insider reported that Drew Gulak was released by WWE.
If you're going to cite news sources, pick good ones. That's where I would start. Credible, really, maybe.
There's been some reports leading up to Bad Blood regarding the representation of black male wrestlers within WWE. They haven't been on a PLE in the last 3 cards. There was no black male wrestlers on the Bad Blood card. How do you gauge between making sure that there's representation and making sure that there are wrestlers that get opportunities that are deserved?
I don't see the difference in anybody. I don't see the color. I don't see the nationality. I don't see any of it. I just see talent. I don't see the difference between men and women. I see talent.
WWE eventually did away with these press conferences in fear of the backlash from bringing back Brock Lesnar, who had been caught up in Vince McMahon's trafficking lawsuit. During AEW's post-show media scrums, owner Tony Khan has always been media-friendly. His answers are well thought out. Rarely does he lose his composure, as he comes across quite genuine. Obviously, there are certain questions he can't answer in any detail, though still his replies are fair and diplomatic.
Is MJF still with AEW? Like, what is his status with the company right now?
Especially after the great show we did, I'm not going to comment on it, but it's a fair question to ask, but I'm not going to cover that one right now. Thanks, Nick.
From your perspective, what happened with MJF this week?
I'm not going to comment on that, but I've got a lot of stuff on the pay-per-view I can comment on, but I'm not going to comment on that.
It's also true that in the beginning, Tony frequently took shots at WWE, similar to the way WCW president Eric Bischoff did back in the day. But over time, Khan has changed his approach, realizing that his product is the focus. That's where his and AEW's attention lies. All Elite even allowed some exchanges with WWE in the beginning, though the Federation never allowed any talent to go in the opposite direction. All in all, you get the impression that AEW's ownership is much more trustworthy and less combative compared to that of WWE's.
It's exciting to just be able to branch out And, you know, I'm not going to use all the cliched terms about what door people go through or anything like that because it's stupid and silly. I feel like I'm on the main event of one of those 7-hour pay-per-views where you're just like, please get the thing over with. Don't read into that, Jesus. I meant one of ours. I was in main events of stuff that went 6-7 hours, dreading having to go out there to a silence, right? Just calm down.
With WWE and TKO being such a corporate juggernaut, you can never be sure how much more they want to squeeze out of you. They'll take away a week of events from an entire city and put their biggest shows of the year on in Saudi Arabia, all to maximize profits at all costs.
The biggest thing I see right now on the internet is people thinking, oh, and then they're going to do this. Yeah, no, we're not.
And while some other company packed up their big show and shipped it off to Saudi Arabia to take that blood money,
AEW, on the other hand, is clearly a company for the fans.
I want to commend you, Tony, for what you do with black wrestlers on your show, because you guys definitely push them forward.
So many of the top wrestlers, some of the top black wrestlers in the world are in AEW, and I really think most of the top black wrestlers in the world are now in AEW, but I think that is a conscious thing, but I also think it's great, and it's awesome to hear that. I'm glad that that's something that's connected with you, and it means a lot. Thank you for saying it.
Something that is true now more than ever, given the current wrestling landscape. Now, if you enjoyed this video, be sure to check out our similar video on why does WWE feel so much worse today. Hope you have a great day, and I'll see you next time.